About 2 weeks ago, Macro gave us this amazing video. In it, he showcased some of the best additions to the gaming world that came from the BR genre. And me being me, and also being out of ideas, I decided to still reinvent that amazing project. So here I present to you the worst innovations in Battle Royale games. Hello, I'm Marcus, long lost twin brother of Macro. I made video. Watch. You have to. Good for health. Alright, I don't want to recap Macro's whole video, to which you've got the link in the description, and I highly recommend watching, but I do want to base some stuff on it. It's the evil version after all. So I thought we could just go over all the titles that he's named and pick one awful thing that came from it. Sounds good? Let's go.
Fortnite.
There were a total of 3 innovations mentioned here. Building, the creative mode, and the free-to-play business model. And I'll go with something that deeply connects to the business model Macro talked about. And that thing are the skins. Before you kill me for not strictly mentioning collabs, which I left out for a different title, hear me out. Prior to Fortnite, we did not have any games that really focused on putting out amazing cosmetics. Most had some mediocre gun or hero skins, and that's basically it. And games like Overwatch that had decent cosmetics didn't have a lot of them. At the time, it was 4 legendary skins per hero, with 2 of them being recolors, and only a few new ones releasing every 3 or 4 months. So Fortnite essentially popularized making everything for free outside of the cosmetics. And if you get the game, as well as all the new content for free, what else is there to spend money on other than skins? Nowadays, games being free and skins being pumped out is something that we are so used to, it's actually crazy to think about. Battle Royale, a game that I honestly haven't played that much. I think I might have spent like 10 or so hours playing it with my friends, but all we really did was turn our brains off and have fun. With that said, I couldn't really find any bad innovations inside the game. But I did find one outside of it. See, Battle Royale was the first Battle Royale game to be relaunched after its initial death, which simply means that you put out the same game with slight tweaks and try to replicate the day one success. Nowadays we have a lot more cases of that happening with, for example, Splitgate. And I could even go as far as to say that games like Overwatch 2, CS2 and CJX are a product of relaunching. Thanks Battle Royale, let's move on. Blackout. This one holds a special place in my heart, and to be honest I don't even know why, as I haven't managed to get a single win in like 200 games. But back to the video. Macro mentioned the addition of PvE into BR genre, and for me this is a really double-edged sword. As Macro said, it was a nice refreshment, and I 100% agree with that, but it was also a huge annoyance to a lot of people. First and foremost, you had the chance of getting the ray gun, which if you're familiar with Call of Duty has always been quite strong to say the least. But now it wasn't only bound to zombies, and you could use it to absolutely obliterate any other players, especially in early to mid game. Another thing I found myself disliking about PvE was that the zombies would spawn in some random ass areas and I was forced to fight them. Usually that would end up giving my position away to other players. Fortunately now we have seen a lot of development in the PvE aspect of Battle Royales, and I got to say it has become a lot better. Just take a look at the flyers from our next mention, Apex Legends. I really wanted to, but I can't even be bothered thinking of a cool story to tell about Apex's worst innovation. It's the fucking microtransactions, and it's not even close. This game single-handedly popularized stuff like recolors, gacha events, and so much more. There was a period of time, a long period to be exact, in Apex's history where the only thing players were getting were skins. It was the only part of the game receiving any attention from the devs. There were cheaters, bugs, unplayable ranked game mode, and no new content, and yet somehow we were still getting a new skin almost daily. Worst of all, it was fucking working. We've seen some other games starting to hop on that trend, with the biggest examples being Siege and Overwatch. You could also say that Fortnite did it too, with for example Peely, the banana skin, getting like 20 different variants, but all of them were still different from one another and not just copy and paste ones in different colors. Oh man, another double-edged sword, here we go. When it came to Warzone, Macro mentioned loadout drops, which, as the name suggests, allowed for players to buy their most preferred guns and tacticals. This was a huge change, as up until now, every Battle Royale game based their loot pool on RNG. In simple words, you never had anything guaranteed. You could drop in, get the best weapon in seconds, and sometimes you would win a match with the worst loot possible. Some people might disagree, but I think that was really balanced for the genre as a whole. All players had the same chance to find both good and bad loot, and it kept the games feeling fresh. We all remember the hype when you dropped into Tilted Towers and got a gold scar, for example. But now with the loadout drops, people had a super easy way to guarantee themselves the best loot. This made for some of the most boring metas in Battle Royale history, as after a minute into the game, every player would already have the most OP loadout in the game. Also, as I said before, I wanted to quickly mention the collapse, and I know this isn't just a Warzone thing, it is COD as a whole, but I thought I could dedicate some time to it. And yeah, sure, I could have given it to Fortnite, but I still believe that at least Fortnite's collapse fit the game, whereas COD adds anything that could potentially give them money. A special question to war veterans and every other person like that. Take a look at these bundles. Have you ever seen something like that at war? Please let me know in the comments below. Last but not least, and yes, I'm putting in a third one, you might have guessed that I am not really a big fan of Call of Duty at the moment. I wanted to mention the pay-to-win skins, with examples such as the now infamous Rose skin. This thing, I believe, was the first skin in history to get nerfed. And sure, we had some slightly pay-to-win skins before, like this R99 skin from Apex that to this day has a better iron sight than the default one. Or this Pathfinder skin that also looks smaller and a bit more slim than the default one. But the thing with those two were that the R99, you could buy it with crafting materials, an in-game currency that you simply got from playing matches and opening packs that you could get for free. Which meant that essentially every player could use this advantage. And the Pathfinder skin, although costing real world money, it didn't really decrease your hitbox. So at the end of the day, you were the same size as you were before wearing any other skin. And now we got the part where I go a bit off script. See, in the rest of the video, Macro covers some of the lesser known or dead Battle Royales. The issue is that, I haven't played some of them, so I don't want to give you a bullshit AI take, and instead I wanted to show you some of my favorite dogshit innovations in the games that I've actually played. Starting with something that the regular viewers know I hate with a passion. If I could pick this game as a whole, I would, but of course excluding the limp mechanic as that was actually goated, but other than that, this game simply showed me what a biblically accurate fuckfest looks like. And nothing made as awful of an impression on me like NFTs. That's right, people. This game integrated an NFT market into the shop. Do I need to say more? Next. You gotta hear me out on this one, as it won't really be an innovation. The game itself wasn't bad, and I personally have nothing to complain about here. It was the concept that really never sat well with me. A wrestling battle royale game. Sure, it wasn't as bad as the Ugandan Knuckles Battle Royale, which exists by the way, but it always seemed to me like it was trying to appeal to a non-existent niche. Wrestling fans already had WWE games, and I doubt they would enjoy a cartoony battle royale spin on it. With other examples being that one dodgeball BR game from a few years ago. Was it even a battle royale? You probably got some gameplay on screen right now, this game. And I know it was the time when everyone tried to capitalize off of the genre's popularity, so no wonder a lot of weird experiments came out of it. I just couldn't hold back from mentioning this game. Like, I don't even care if it's an innovation or not, but going from a decently successful, unique mobile battle royale to a straight-up copy of Apex Legends is mental. And the fact that people still support and justify it is nuts to me. You don't have to be an Apex fan to realize that making a copy of an already existing, well-established title is bad. They sure aren't the first to do it, like Fortnite had billions of copies when it was the most popular game on the planet, but I feel like no other game really had as much traction as this one. Last but not least, we've got Cuisine Royale. This game is the worst out of them all, as they decided to fully, and I mean like 110%, fully make the game fun. That's it from me. That game is goated, by the way. Also, please sub, because yeah, that kind of helps, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye.